Alexander, nice to see that you've written another set of essays for us. Good job. Let's take a look at what you've done here. Okay, water consumption, here's what you wrote. The graph in question represents the top water consumption by, not top, just represents water consumption by country during 2013. Get rid of the the. The values are measured in gallons per capita. 7 countries were considered: Mexico, Thailand, Italy, Germany, UAE, France, and USA. That was smart, by the way. I'm glad that you did that. Overall, it can be seen that Mexico not had consumed, but just consumed the most water out of all the represented countries. There's no reason for past perfect here. You're not comparing 2 points in the past, so past simple is more than appropriate. All right, let's move on. The top consumer country of water was Mexico. All right, that's a little awkward. Let's change it around so it sounds like a little more natural English. How about the top the top consumer of water was Mexico. That would have been okay. Or the top water consuming country was Mexico with 67.3 gallons per capita. Thailand and Italy showed relatively similar consumption values. I got rid of the had, with a difference of only 6.9 gallons per capita, where the former was, had maybe 59.6 and the latter 52.7. That's nice. The slight decrease by almost 15 gallons per capita comparing to the previous 3 countries started to happen in Germany, UAE, and France. All right, that's a sentence we have to work with. We have to work on, actually. You can't use the word difference here, and let me explain to you why. You can't use the word decrease here, sorry. The reason for that is that there's nothing decreasing here. In other words, you don't have a graph or a chart showing changes over time where it would be appropriate to talk about increases, decreases, declines, and rises, all right? Instead, what you have here is what we call a static bar chart, where it's essentially a snapshot of a moment in time. So nothing is increasing, nothing is decreasing, and instead what you need to do is use the language of comparison. So rather than increase, decrease, increase, incline, decline, and rise, you need to use things like was higher than, was lower than, was half, was double, was twice as high as. So this kind of language, the language of comparison. So what I would do with this particular sentence is I would say the significant decrease by approximately 15 gallons per capita occurred in Germany, UAE, and France. Okay, you could have maybe, if you wanted, then said what those figures were, 38.6, 37.4, 36.4 respectively. Because I said approximately. Why? Because here it's a little more than 15 gallons. Okay? USA consumed the least amount of water, only 32.4 gallons per capita. In conclusion, the consumption of water varied by approximately 34.9 gallons per capita between the top consumer and the not least, but the lowest consumer. It's fine. I felt like this you could have done more with. I like what you did here. That was a smart thing to do. But I was also hoping for you to say something a little bit more about this. This is more than double the water used in the USA. I would have liked to have seen something like that here. Okay, and then this was fine when you mentioned that difference there. That was fine. Although, quite honestly, you don't need a conclusion. You already had an overview, so this is just a little extra information. Like I said, I would have liked to see that this was actually half this figure. I thought that was interesting. It's fine. It's appropriate. You just have to be careful about those vocabulary things that we talked about. On the whole, you dealt with it appropriately, though, so good job. Let's take a look now at this. Schools have to be more entertaining. Okay. Over the years, the education system, including schools, have transformed quite significantly. Today, the motivation for the child to come to school during the weekday is not only based on his eagerness to learn a particular subject. The importance of his school's social interactions also plays a major role in his decision to come to school. In this essay, I will support an opinion that school environment can be more entertaining. All right. I was a little confused here. You started talking about eagerness and social interactions, and then you threw in this element of entertainment. I can't really say that it's the most cohesive introduction I've ever seen. I was kind of wondering where you were going with it, especially when you started with the social interactions. I was really kind of confused. So I would have preferred in your second sentence to somehow introduce this element of entertainment. I think that would be a better place to put it. And then say that you think that schools must be more entertaining rather than just focusing on sole academic information. All right, let's move on and see how you developed your paragraphs. Some people think that educational institutions like schools exist purely for the purpose of education, where having fun should not be allowed. For example, the intentional absence of a playground in the schoolyards, no comma, shows that students are expected to always concentrate on their education rather than to enjoy their break by playing with their classmates. It is a valid opinion, but I do not fully support it. Could you have said something else about it? Could you have said that the reason they think this is because we live in a very competitive society where people are judged by their certificates and the accolades they have earned and the level of education they have received, and so in this kind of cutthroat society, in the minds of many, there is no place for entertainment. That's the kind of thing that really would have, first of all, beefed up the length of this paragraph, but it also would have added some nice substance to it. All right, so let's look at the second paragraph. Schools can be made to be entertaining by a partial introduction of non-formal education methods. For example, a biology class can have an excursion to the local animal sanctuary to learn more about endangered species. Having the real-life visual contact with the subject of study will certainly increase the chances of children, remember, never kids in IELTS, remembering the covered topic. Moreover, it must be taken into consideration that students spend their whole days with their classmates, and school can contribute to improving their interpersonal relationships. For instance, informal social spaces can be organized within school territory where students can meet, help each other with assignments, and simply relax after an intensive study day. Okay, I liked your ideas very much. What I wanted was a little bit more about how all of this is entertaining. So if you had said having real-life visual contact with the subject will certainly increase the chances of children remembering the cover topics, because children will have learned it in a more enjoyable, more recreational manner. So really just adding an extra element, tying it back to this idea of entertainment, really would have made all the difference here. Okay? And then here you talk about helping each other with assignments and simply relaxing. But again, social bonds are really formed when children can get to know each other in a more relaxed environment, laugh and tell stories, and create lifelong relationships like this. So again, tying it back to entertainment. You're so close, and it's really, really a good job, but you just have to take an extra step to really have an examiner say, wow, yeah, this has absolutely covered the topic. Okay? All in all, it can be said that the education at school I don't care for this expression here. All in all, it can be said that education at school is very important, but to complement its importance, the introduction of entertaining extracurricular activities can be made. Hopefully in the future, a school will become not only a house of fundamental knowledge, but rather an open place for children, I'll say it again, to enjoy learning and participating in social activities. Okay, so Aleksandr, I think that I've pretty much covered where the weak spots were and where the strong spots were. It was actually a strong essay. I liked it. But I want you to take just the extra step to really make sure that you're doing what you could and what you should be doing with your task achievement. Okay, you're really, really close. So keep working at it, keep writing, and I'll be waiting to see what you write in your next set of essays. Good luck.